Okay, champions, I have a chat with the championship leader of the Australian TCRs, Bailey Sweeny, happening right now for all of your little ear holes. We've just had the Sydney TCR World TCR round, where we've had 9 of the international drivers come over to try their hand over here on our circuits against our boys. And welcome, Bailey.
How we going? Good to be back.
Mate, I had a ball up there on the weekend. That was absolutely mad.
Yeah, it's pretty cool vibe off the track, and obviously on the track it provides some pretty good action as well. So I think it lived up to the hype what we've been looking forward to all year. So yeah, it's good to see.
I think it definitely reached the hype of what we wanted. The racing was absolutely off the chain. Um, Everybody was just going hard. It was just hammers and tongs. There was contact everywhere. Dudes are spinning. Guys are flying off the circuit all over the joint. The rain comes on Friday just to make things a little bit interesting, like a big cat amongst all the pigeons. And how'd you go with all of that?
It wasn't a bad weekend for us. So we obviously had 40 kilos after our Sandown efforts, qualifying on pole. So that put us in the back foot a bit. And last year, Sydney was probably my weakest track. So coming into the weekend, we didn't have extremely high hopes. But yeah, it went pretty well. So we qualified fourth in Q1, fourth in Q2, so which we were absolutely wrapped with that one. Race one, we were running top five, and then it rained halfway through. So obviously we're sitting pretty good. And then once the rain come around, my teammate and myself just struggled massively for some reason. So I think we dropped back to 14th in that one, which wasn't ideal. Where we made up for it in race two, we came forward from 14 to 6, and we had the second quickest lap of the race. So, yeah, that was definitely a good drive on my behalf, I believe. So I was happy with that one. And then the final race, we started 8th with the combined points. And we kind of hovered around that position. And then towards the end of the race, I was kind of just keeping it cool and not picking any fights I didn't need to. So not battling with the wild guys too much, and just out of trouble to come home in P11, I think it was. So yeah, overall not a bad weekend. We kept our championship gap to P2. So yeah, wasn't too bad in the end.
Yeah, so basically you and Josh with HMO are sitting 1 and 2 in the championship. Aaron Cameron threw his hat in the ring after the first race and jumped into second for a short time. But
Yeah, he was pretty strong on the weekend, so
he
I wasn't
was.
expecting that, to be honest.
He was absolutely hammering. Him and Will Brown literally were just on fire.
Yeah, in that wet race, he was probably one of the quickest cars at the end of race one. So yeah, it's pretty impressive to see. And it was backing that up in race two until I don't know, he backed it up in race two, so with the P2 on track and then had the penalty.
Yeah, well, he jumped the
Race
start
three, he had a bit of contact. So
from the second row. He
unfortunate for
jumped,
him.
yeah, jumped the start and got himself a 5-second penalty. But on the restart, after I think they were retrieving Zach Suter's car in the second
Correct.
one.
Yeah.
On the restart, because he had that 5-second penalty hanging over his head, he just dropped the hammer and had to try to minimize the positional damage by
Yeah.
jumping away.
Even though he had that 5th place grid penalty, he still finished second on track. So that in itself is mighty impressive against all those world guys, which are some serious next level races. So yeah, it was good to see the Australians going well.
Well, that's it, because it's a race within a race. So they've got their championship, the World TCR Championship, that they're getting points for, and you're getting your championship within them. So realistically, you're not actually racing the Lincoln Coast,
No,
apart from Tommy's.
obviously the world guys don't take any prisoners, and the Australians want to prove themselves against the world guys. So it's still competitive there. But yeah, there's obviously two championships playing out in the same race. So it's an interesting dynamic.
It was just mad, mate. 25 cars on grid at the start of the weekend, but unfortunately for Cody, he had a big off and basically destroyed the front end of his car. We won't be probably even seeing him next weekend at Bathurst. That was a lot of damage, a lot of front damage there.
Yeah, I reckon that car's been parked in the corner for a fair while. I think the Gen 2
Unfortunately.
Peugeots are coming, so that they're getting built. So it seems silly to repair that one after such a big shunt when you can just skip a race and have a new car next year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're gonna have to cut it off from the firewall. Everything is scrapped from the front.
Yeah, just
um,
pretty bad and broken.
so, what's your opinion on the international guys that came over? The way that they race relative to the way that we race? Was there much of a difference on track?
Pace wise, I was expecting them to be a little bit faster actually, because when I watched them in South America and Europe and the Italian Championship, it was pretty much the world guys and then the national category. But in Australia, it was pretty mixed between the two. So if you look at the top 10, it was kind of 5-5 for world cars and Australian cars. So that was pretty cool to see. Yeah, but as for the racing, yeah, they take no prisoners, and the race starts for them as soon as they leave the pit lane. Like I remember in the warm up session, it was conga line and almost crashing in the pit lane. That's how competitive they are just to get out there first. Like, yeah, it's a crazy level of competition they bring to the race. That's for sure. So it was cool to see and cool to experience.
Oh, absolutely. Australian boys, we held our own for sure. Um, Sharing podiums, getting race wins. I mean, that was Brownie. He had a day out in the Audi.
Yeah,
It was actually cool to see him race the other two Audis, the international boys. Like there was the three of them in a ding dong battle amongst themselves as they were moving through.
yeah,
So I think he's certainly elevated his reputation in TCR with the
yeah,
way that he drove. Unfortunately, he's completely out of the domestic competition because they had a couple of rounds missed because they destroyed their cars at the start of the season. And
yeah. Which is
uh,
unfortunate.
yeah, so that put them out of the actual contention, which opens it up for you and Josh. Now, I don't know what's going on with you. You might be sharing the same garage, but you're certainly not working together because Josh gave you the biggest shunt in race two. Almost sent you like he got you in the dirt, but he almost put you on into the wall as he was trying to battle through. So
It's certainly competitive, but there's nothing bad there. Like in quality in Q2, I think it was, we pitted for dry tires towards the end of the session and only got one lap. And on that one lap, Josh was in front of me and he got out of the way. So if you hadn't done that, I would have been towards the back of the 10. So obviously that was a big thing for me. And then in that race where he pushed me off, I obviously held the position. And then later, a lap later, I let him pass when there was no cars behind. So
mm.
we're not silly about it, but obviously we're pretty competitive when it comes to it. So
Oh, we love it. Just don't take each other out in the mountain. There's no runoff up there. So
yeah,
just
that'd be a
keep your
different story.
elbows tucked in a little bit. You don't have to like wipe each other out of the championship. I know he needs to take you out, but if he takes himself out at the same time, I'm pretty sure HMO are going to knock your heads together. So
There'd be a few unhappy campers at HMO if that happened.
yeah. Let's not do that. Let's just race it nice and hard. I mean, we got the I think Huff is the only bloke that's gone and done
There's
Bathurst
two. So
before.
the two Audi drivers have been there in GT3 machinery before. So Rob Huff and Frederick Bavish have been to the mountain
Oh,
before.
Vivesh has been before. Yeah. Yeah. So they've got a bit of an idea of what's going to happen to them. The other seven, it's going to open their eyes up for sure. Like the first time you ever saw the mountain, that was in 86, 86s.
First time was in 86s, yeah. So obviously in the 86s, half the track's flat, so it wasn't too bad. But my first time there in TCR was pretty eye-opening from practice one. Like over the top, you have to have a go to do a lap time. So it's pretty cool across the top. And yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some grazers and maybe some shunts as well from the world guys, I reckon. We were actually talking to on the Saturday night as we are packing up, we're talking to some of the Lincoln Co mechanics, and we were like saying like, "Oh, Bathurst is going to be a different thing for you guys," and like, "There's probably going to be some carnage." And like, their reply was, "We don't care. We got new cars for the weekend after."
All right. So they can bin it if they want
That was their
to.
response. We don't care because they raced
Don't
at
care.
Macau the weekend after, and they said we got
Yeah.
new cars ready there to go. So these ones
That's their
don't.
last round, isn't it, Macau?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they literally win it or bin it. They don't care.
Oh, wow. This is going to be on. I remember last time you two were up there, it was you and Jay Hansen. You were about 10 seconds in front, just pushing each other, going hammers and tongs across the top. And Jay just stepped out, made a slight error, and just massive consequences, completely wrote the Audi off.
Yeah,
Um, but it looks
yeah.
like you might have another 9 blokes that are going to race that same way.
Yeah, it was a very small mistake from Jay last year, and the consequences were massive for that shunt. I think that's what's hurt Will Brown this year, obviously racing Jay's car from last year, and it's had a fair few mechanical dramas. So
Well, they claim it had nothing to do with it, but because everything got replaced. But you know what it is, what it is. It had a rebuild over the off season because it was fucked.
yeah,
Shouldn't say that. Keep it G. So we move on to Bathurst next week. You head up there, what, Wednesday, Thursday?
Probably Thursday morning. I think it's only about a 3 hour, 4 hour drive for us. So yeah, Thursday morning we'll head over.
Yeah, cool. I'm heading up tomorrow. I drive up. Oh,
Tomorrow.
we're recording this on Cup Day, on Melbourne Cup Day, Tuesday. So I'm going to get in there tomorrow because we've got the Thursday circuit to City.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
drivers, sort of all the cars drive into town and set up in the afternoon. So I wanted to be there
Yep.
for that. And just get myself based for the day, so I don't have to rush and be too tired for Friday because we got a fair weekend of on the calendar up there actually. What, a couple of practice sessions, couple of quali sessions, and 3 races.
Yeah, standard schedule for us. So yeah, 2, 2, and 3. So yeah, should be a good weekend.
Yeah,
Keen to see how we shake down a bit of a different style of circuit, being Bathurst, when Sydney had been a bit more of a European sort of circuit. So yeah, I'm keen to see how everyone shakes down, and hopefully we can take the lead out of the side of my car, which would be good.
yeah, let's do that.
And
Let's
behind my
really get
back.
weight.
Yeah.
And you're really realistically only racing against Josh and Aaron, to be perfectly frank, unless somebody like Tony has some sort of magic with his new Civic.
Yeah, it's pretty
Um,
pretty unlikely when you look at it
he's too
realistically. I
far
think it's
back.
only pretty much Josh and myself, unless something extraordinary happens. So yeah, it's definitely something to think about. And even like the final race at Sydney, I had I think Girolami behind me, maybe a Lincoln Co. And I just let him go because I didn't want to be involved in any crashes and that, and just stay out of trouble. So Josh is
Yeah,
our main fault.
exactly. You're not racing them. They can do what they want. You can
Yeah,
compete with them,
obviously
but you're
we,
not
we want to
racing
jag
them.
we want to jag a result against him if we can and showcase what I can do. But yeah, obviously the championship is the biggest thing. We've worked all year for it, so I'm not going to throw it away trying to prove a point.
Exactly. Exactly. Um, well, that's it for the wrap up, to be perfectly frank, mate. We've got Stan doing the coverage on Saturday and Sunday. They're kicking off about 11:30 on Saturday, 10 a.m. on Sunday. There will be some free to wear on 9Gem and 9Go on the Saturday afternoon only. So you can watch that live on from 2 p.m. till 5. That's the teaser. That'll be the reverse grid race. Um, no, it won't.
Uh,
No, that'll be the
no, that would
first
be
race. That's race
fun.
one.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
race one.
yeah.
Um, Sunday's got the reverse grid race, top 10, first up, and then the combined final race of the day for you guys, where the championship's going to be fully decided, to be perfectly honest.
Hopefully we can take the number 3 and number 0 from my car and just leave number 1 on. That'd be nice.
Oh, dear. Oh, yeah, you get to do that, don't you? Nice big number 1 for next year. That'll be mint.
That would be
Speaking
very
of
nice.
next year, because this is your last round, this is it. We're all coming down to Bathurst. You sticking
Yep.
with the hatch? You sticking with the I-30 hatch
For next year,
for next year? Yeah.
we're not sure yet. There's talks to try and get one of the factory cars to stay here, but yeah, I'm not too sure what's actually going to happen. So
Just
the
park it around
plan
the
is to
back of
try
the
and get
shed.
sedan, but yeah, I'm not too sure what the final outcome's going to
Just park it around the back of the shed. They won't find it.
be. The sedan's obviously a pretty good package, so I want to be in one of those next year if we can. So
Yeah.
that's the plan.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. That'd be way cool. So overall, what was your impression of this world round? And you've got the final coming up too, which we haven't spoken about yet. But overall, the part one of this two-parter, uh, you reckon it's working?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool thing, and obviously they're going to be here for a few years, the World Tour in Australia, so that's pretty cool, and yeah, it's lived up to everything I thought, and I'm just keen to get underway at Bathurst next week and do it all again.
So moving into next year, because later this year you've got the world final. You'll be
At the
racing
start of
against these.
next year.
Oh, is that the start of next year?
Yeah, I think it's first, second, 3rd of March, I believe.
We've finally got a date. Do we know where?
Portugal.
Portugal. Excellent. So that's your first. You'll be kicking off the season over there.
Yeah.
Is that the only round you'll be doing overseas next year? You're going to think about maybe doing a Ben Bargy and see if you can jump onto another couple of rounds?
I'd love to, but yeah, it's all budget related. So
Money. Yeah, welcome
yeah,
to that
obviously,
dirty B word.
yeah, we definitely want to get over there for the World final, and that's firm on our list. But yeah, if you can get the budget for something else for some more World rounds, that'd be awesome as well. So
Do you guys take your own car?
we haven't decided that yet. We're going to talk to BRC on the weekend and see what they're going to do and whether they've got any spare cars around for that. So nothing's firmly set in place yet, and we still got a fair while to organise. So yeah,
Yeah.
everything's kind of up in the air at the moment.
Is there anybody else racing hatches still, or are they all on the sedan,
So
not the Elantra?
at the moment, I'm the only hatch that's racing the whole world tour. So there's
So
a
there
fair
should be heaps
few.
of hatches floating around that no one's using at the moment.
There is a fair few hatches over there, but yeah, I think I'd want to be in a sedan. So
Yes, for sure.
you don't want to be going too far away from the, I don't know, what everyone else is doing. So yeah,
No, exactly.
being a sedan, it won the world championship last year. Pretty sure it's leading at the moment again, or it's very close. So obviously it's a pretty good package, and yeah, I want to transfer over to those.
Magnificent. Cool. Okay. Well, I'll be seeing you in a couple of days' time again up at the mountain. Go
It will
Team
be.
Bailey. We'll be up there cheering you on again. Had a fair little crew this weekend for you. There was heaps of guys
Yeah,
supporting you this weekend.
the shirts are done well, so it's pretty cool to look around. You see a lot of shirts around and supporters. Yeah, it was awesome. Hopefully, we can have a pretty similar turnout to Bathurst this weekend.
Yeah, no, let's tell everybody about that. We've got the Bailey Sweeny 130 shirts. They're in a red or a blue trim. Basically available at the side of the track, but they're also available. Can they order them? People order them directly from you?
Yeah, you can just flick your message on Facebook and that, but it's a bit of a different setup at Bathurst. So at Bathurst, they're going to have a full merch truck, which is
Oh yeah,
pretty
cool.
cool. So all the world teams will be selling merch, and I'll have some shirts in there as well. So head to the merch truck at Bathurst to grab one.
Well, there's more and more times I go to the circuit this year. There's more and more 130 shirts walking around. So
They're growing.
they are growing, like literally at the back of where the guys were camping, even though some crazy people were camping at Sydney on the weekend, that they had a couple of 130 shirts on. So we'll get you some merch, get you some funds, and get you some more budget. Let's get some more sponsors in and get you
That'd be very nice.
overseas so you can take it back to these world guys on their patch.
Yeah, it'd be good to go out there and do some more racing. So we'll see what happens about this whole how we go this weekend and that. Obviously, the world stage is at our back doorstep, so now's the time to put on performance and make a statement. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, good luck this weekend, mate. We're going for the championship. Good luck to HMO. Good luck to your stable mate Josh as well. Make it a 1-2.
That'd be nice.
We want you to be number one. That's the deal. And he can come in quite comfortably in behind you, and you can share the podium and share the championship podium. So
that'd be nice. I think
keep
it's
an
only
eye
one
out.
race. I haven't had the championship for all year, so hopefully we can keep it that way.
Oh, was that the one where you didn't make it out to the
So yeah,
battery went flat?
So we had a 50-point lead before that weekend, and then we DNF'd the first race, and I think he beat me by like one position in the race 2, and then he got the championship lead.
Yeah.
And then I think I got it back the next race. So it's only one race I've lost the lead for all year. So it'd be a shame to come all this way and lose it at the final hurdle.
No, mate, you guys are good. You're flat. You're fast. You know what you're doing. You've been the mountain before. You cleaned up there last year. So
yeah, on paper it's looking pretty good for us. So last year there was 2 rounds of Bathurst and we cleaned up at both of them. So hopefully that trend continues and we can continue.
Yeah, if we can pull some weight out of your car, then you don't have to drive with oh, did you see there's a new technique apparently. You're allowed to open the rear hatch and use it as another parachute when you're going off the circuit.
What's that?
I think it was Harris's car. The hatch actually popped open on the back of his car while he was driving around.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and as he outbraked and he was starting to leave the track, the hatch just sort of like flipped up and just slammed back down again. And he managed to just keep the car continuing going on. Like the hatch.
Yeah, right. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, the rear hatch popped up. So now if you can actually use that, you can use it as an air brake.
I think I've seen that stuff in Excel, not in TCR before. So that's
yeah. Oh, mate, there was so much fun. I've got to say, the guys, congratulations to ARG and TCR and World TCR, because it was totally riveting. Totally. There was action up and down all races, action going everywhere. Dudes plowing into each other, tagging each other, spinning off.
I think it's a credit to everyone involved. All the hard work's paying off, and yeah, it's cool to see how successful the weekend was on track and off track. So yeah, it was good to see.
Yep. All right, mate. Well, I'll see you in a couple of days up there, and we'll catch up again, and we'll see how we go. Congratulations on the efforts on the weekend, but let's go for the championship, and we'll have a chat then.
Yeah, thank you. Sounds like a plan. See you in a couple of days.
All right, mate. Thanks for your time.
Bye.